Eileen, and I'm so glad to be here and a part of this community this morning to see all your bright and shiny faces. So today we're exploring a question. I'm gonna take off my glasses. That is both deeply personal and profoundly spiritual. And that question is, how can I honor my doubts as signposts and guides rather than stopping blocks? How can I honor my doubts as signposts and signs rather than stopping blocks? For many of us, doubt has been cast as the villain, right? In our spiritual journey. How dare we doubt, right? We've been taught that faith is strong and that doubt is weak. Faith is spiritual and doubt is somehow evidence that we're failing. But if we're honest, doubt has accompanied every meaningful transformation in our lives. When we changed careers, when we entered a relationship, when we became parents, when we moved to a new community, when we stood at the bedside of someone we loved, and when we buried someone we never imagined living without. Doubt was there. Doubt was there. And perhaps the question is not whether doubt belongs on the spiritual path. Maybe the question is whether doubt itself is a part of the path. The affirmation that I put in the newsletter says, love is the foundation of my questions and curiosities. I find that affirmation powerful because it changes the energy of doubt. Now, many of us experience doubt as fear, right? But there's another form of doubt. It's not fear, it's curiosity. It's the soul that whispers to us, is there more? Can I see this differently? Am I being invited into a deeper understanding? See, when doubt becomes the foundation of our question, doubt then ceases to be an obstacle and it becomes an invitation. When mystics throughout history or the mystics throughout history weren't people who had all the answers, right? They were people willing to remain present with the questions. They trusted that truth was large enough to hold the uncertainty. They trusted that God, the divine being, whatever it is that you call it, was not threatened by inquiry. They trusted that curiosity itself was sacred. Now, I've been reading a lot of Howard Thurman, our book of the month. It's so good, and I encourage you to go to the website and go to the link and read this book. It's free online now. He wrote, sometimes the radiance of love is so soft and gentle that the individual sees themselves with all harsh lines wiped away. Sometimes the radiance of love is so soft and gentle that the individual sees himself with all harsh lines wiped away. Isn't that a beautiful image? I love that. The radiance of love wipes away all harsh lines. The line we draw around ourselves, the lines that say I'm not enough, or I should know better, or I should be further along, right? The other one, I should have figured this out by now. Love dissolves those lines. But then Thurman offers something surprising. He says that love doesn't only comfort us, love also reveals us. Love exposes the places where we still believe that we're unworthy. Love shines a light on old wounds. Love brings forgotten fears to the surface. Sounds strange, huh? But love awakens those dormant questions. And when that happens, doubt often shows up. Not because love is absence, because love is at work. Hmm. Wouldn't that be interesting? I have doubt and I think, oh, love is at work there. The very thing we think is proof that something is wrong may actually be evidence that something sacred has happened. I said it last week, my friend Reverend Abigail Shire in Bellingham. She says, something wonderful is about to happen every time she trips up with something. Every time she notices something that seems bad in the world. You know, somebody in an accident, she'll say something wonderful is about to happen as a part of her prayers to the people in the accident, right? She sees something on the news that disturbs her. She says something wonderful is about to happen. Right? So let's think about the doubts that many of us carry. A lot of us think, am I enough? Am I lovable? Will I be okay? Can I trust life? Can I trust myself? And can I trust God? Right? These questions show up repeatedly in our lives. And often we try to outrun them. Oh no, I'm spiritual. Right? We distract ourselves, we numb ourselves, we overwork, we stay busy. We seek certainty where certainty can't be found. Anybody here identify as a workaholic? Right? Not anymore. Or a gardener-aholic, or a crafting-holic, or a volunteer-aholic, or, right? Right? What's that? Everything-aholic, right, right. Those doubts that we are hiding from, they just follow us. They're never far behind, not because they're trying to defeat us, but because they're trying to teach us. Imagine driving through unfamiliar territory and you come to a road sign. You don't stop and build a house under that sign, do you? You don't worship the sign. You don't fear the sign. You simply recognize that it is pointing towards something. Can you just imagine stopping at a stop sign and going, oh, okay, I've stopped. I guess I live here now. But what? It's scary, right? It's just silliness. But we do that in our lives every day. See, doubt can function the same way. It points us towards an unfinished healing, a deeper truth, a larger understanding, and a new level of spiritual maturity. Think about it. Something angers you. Don't run away from it. Look at it. Ask those questions, right? Recognize that it's pointing towards something. I'm going to share a little bit about my relationship with doubt. And in my times of grief, I've learned this lesson over and over. See, when loss enters our life, certainty often leaves. The things that we thought we understood suddenly feel unclear, and questions arrive that have no immediate answers. And yet, grief has taught me something profound, and that is that doubt and faith can coexist. In fact, they often do. Faith is not an absence of the questions. Faith is a willingness to continue walking even while the question remains. Faith says, I don't know anything, but I trust the next step. It says, I can't see the entire path, but I trust the presence is walking with me. It says, I might not understand what is unfolding, but I'm willing to stay open. See, that kind of faith is not fragile, it's resilient. It doesn't depend on certainty, it depends upon relationship. Now, Ernest Holmes, our founder, wrote that faith is a mental attitude so inwardly embodied that the mind can no longer deny it. Now, notice that Holmes does not say that faith is certainty. He says it's an embodied attitude, a way of relating to life. Faith is not having all the answers. Faith is trusting life, even when answers are incomplete. The Science of Mind, our book, reminds us there is no one who believes more in faith, more in prayer, or more in the necessity of the divine will being done than one who practices daily the science of mind. Practices daily what we teach here. Faith is not blind acceptance. Faith is conscious participation in a living universe. And that participation includes questioning. After all, every person and every spiritual practitioner and minister has asked, how does this work? What is mine to learn? Where is God in this experience? And what is trying to emerge through me? Questions are not a sign of spiritual failure. They are evidence of spiritual engagement. Now, this month's theme of doubt, it also includes the idea of becoming. And becoming is rarely comfortable. A caterpillar becoming a butterfly doesn't know what wings are going to feel like. A seed becoming a tree cannot imagine the height that it will reach. The person that you are becoming cannot always be understood by the person you have been. And that gap creates doubt. Whenever we stand at the edge of growth, doubt shows up. Right? Because growth requires leaving the familiar. The familiar may no longer fit, but it still feels safe. The new possibility calls us forward, but it remains unknown. As I think about it, I think of a baby bird leaving the nest, right? Something calls them to leave the nest. They don't know where they're going. They don't know if they're going to succeed, but something calls them to spread their wings and try something new. But doubt then asks these questions. It asks, well, what if you fail? What if this doesn't work? And what if you're not ready? Love then responds, this is the part to pay attention to. What if you grow? What if life is supporting you? What if you are more prepared than you know? And what if this is exactly the next step for you? So the next time doubt appears, instead of resisting it, try asking, what are you here to teach me? Not, how do I get rid of you? Not, why are you ruining everything? Just simply, what are you here to teach me? And listen. Just listen. Perhaps doubt reveals a fear that needs compassion. Perhaps it reveals a belief that needs healing. Maybe it reveals a place where greater trust is being invited. Hmm. Perhaps it reveals a new possibility that's just trying to emerge. See, when approached with curiosity rather than judgment, doubt often becomes wisdom. Doubt often becomes wisdom. I've been looking for things lately that I keep misplacing, and it's been frustrating. I cannot find my garage door opener, the one that works. Can't find it. So I have to go down the side of the garage and in through the door and then open the garage door to get my car out. No idea where it is. It's in the house because I closed the garage door and I went in. But I have no idea where it is. And I was getting frustrated. And then I thought, wait, hold on. I was doubting myself. I can't keep track of anything. What's wrong with me? Blah, blah, blah. Widow brain, right? What is it that is here to teach me right now? What's that?
Slow down.
Slow down. Yeah. Pay attention. Pay attention. Exactly. Exactly. So, what doubts distract or keep you from experiencing your fullness? What doubts keep you from experiencing a deeper love? Those are powerful questions, right? Because every doubt ultimately asks us, who will we trust? Whom will we trust? Will we trust the voice of limitation or the voice of love? Howard Thurman reminds us that love has no awareness of merit or demerit. Love doesn't weigh our worthiness. It doesn't keep score. Love does not demand perfection before it even arrives. Huh. Love simply loves. This is its nature. You know, my elevator pitch for what does Science of Mind teach? We teach that there is one source, one power, one God, common to all, in and through all things, and its nature is love. Huh. Love simply loves. That is its nature. And if love is the nature of God, then perhaps God is not waiting for us to eliminate our doubts before we're embraced. Perhaps God is meeting us right in the middle of them. Perhaps that divine love is present even in the questions, especially the questions. So today and this week, I'm going to invite you to consider these questions. What if your doubts are not detours? What instead? What if they are signposts? What if they are pointing the way towards a deeper truth, a deeper healing, a deeper trust, or a deeper love? May we honor our questions. May we welcome curiosity, and may we trust the wisdom emerging through uncertainty. And may we remember that love is not waiting at the end of our journey. It is the very ground upon which every question is asked. I love this as an affirmation. I'm going to say it and I'm going to invite you to say it with me. Love is the foundation of my questions and curiosities. You want to say that with me? Love is the foundation of my questions and curiosities. It is, isn't it? So with that affirmation, let's just take a moment and go into prayer, shall we? Look, closing your eyes or dropping your gaze, just take a breath. And know with me that there is one source, one power, one presence, one energy that moves in, through, and around all things. It is that absolute love. It is the curiosity. It is the doubt. It is the fear showing up as an opportunity. It's that anxiety showing up so that we can look at it and heal anything that we need to heal. See, we are a part of that. It moves in, through, and around each and everything. In and through all things. That includes us. That includes the chair we sit on, the floor that we are perched above ground on, the sounds, the smells, the feeling of the warmth on our backs as we step out into the sun. And when we know that we can walk through doubt. We can walk through any fear. We can walk through any anxiety because we know that love is present. It's like that poem, Footprints in the Sand. There is something that is always with you, and when you need it, it will carry you. It will heal if we let it in. So I'm knowing that any healing that needs to be done is being done right now in the mind of God. That any feeling of lack is being replaced with love. That any feeling of worry is being replaced with love and lifted so that it can be healed. That any place of doubt creates a place of curiosity. And in the mind of the one, the source, love, it's all beautiful. It's all powerful. It's all abundant. I know for ourselves, our center, our town, our county, our state, that no matter what happens in the political world or in our neighborhoods or what's happening on our planet right now, that love is in the middle of it. And that as we have faith in that, we know that it could be the stepping off point to something incredible, something wonderful that is happening right now. And we get to sit in gratitude for that. As we hold that space for ourselves, our loved ones, the entire universe. And I am so grateful for this knowingness. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to look at doubt and invite love in. I'm so grateful for the teachings of Ernest Holmes and other great new thought teachers. As I'm grateful for the one, the divine spirit, lifting us, nudging us forward to a new experience of who we are. And I just simply let this prayer be. I let it go. I trust that it's being handled in the mind of God. And I just simply anchor this prayer. And you may join me in simply saying, and so it is.